Well, hello. This is Glenn from Sauna Times, and this is Sauna Talk. And I am just super happy that you're listening here. And I have a great episode with Daryl Lamppa, the third generation sauna stove builder. I'm pleased to present my second Sauna Talk podcast interview with Daryl Lamppa. Who is Daryl Lamppa? A third generation sauna stove builder born and bred in Tower, Minnesota. 100% Finn and married to a Finn. 100% Finn, Cheryl. After marriage, as a young man, Daryl and his father-in-law built their newlywed house. They milled lumber from the Norway pines on their property to make a lot of the framing for the house. And Daryl and Cheryl have lived in this house their entire lives. And she is a former school teacher in town, Tower, Minnesota, and he a welder, of course, for the vapor fire that's the wood-burning home furnace and the Kuuma wood-burning sauna stove. And I'm pretty sure that Daryl is one of the leading living experts in wood-burning technology. And I will put money on it that nobody alive has spent more time researching and analyzing wood-burning technology than Daryl Lamppa. The first time I met Daryl Lamppa, it was over 30 years ago. I had recently moved to the area of northeast Minnesota. I had come back from Europe, where I spent a lot of time up in Scandinavia. I was interested in building my first sauna to replicate the awesome experience that I had when I lived over there, and I was on an island rebuilding a cottage on the Baltic archipelago. And that was a great experience for me. I mean, I was just a college kid over there, living, working, breathing, just getting into the nature and the culture of the area. And we would work all day. It was the land of the midnight sun. We'd knock off work in the evening. This was in 1986, 87, something like that. 85 maybe, I think. Actually 85. Yeah, and so we would knock off work in the evening and hop in Gunnar's boat, and we would head over to his other uncle's island where there was a sauna in this beautiful little bay with a small, humble little cottage on the one end of this cove bay area, and then the sauna just down the path. And we'd pull in perch and flounder from the Baltic and fillet the fish and peel and boil potatoes and sauna well into the night. And yeah, there was beer and vodka involved. But anyway, that was a formidable time for me. But what I remember, there's a lot of things I remember, but I remember the quality of the sauna heat. And I had never experienced heat like that before. So when I came back to America, not only did I want to move to a place with that similar topography and nature and seasons and cold, deep water and all that, but I wanted a sauna. And lo and behold, this property I bought right outside of Tower, Minnesota, I quickly found out that there was a sauna stove maker in town. And that's when I first met Daryl Lamppa over 30 years ago. I walked into his shop, and he did all his welding back then. And I just immediately resonated with that stove and the quality of the heat. And I got into sauna building as a part-time gig in a large part because of the Kuuma stove. Thanks to the Kuuma, I was able to finally experience the quality of heat that I knew so well from my time in the Baltic, and I felt so comfortable with the building process to create that quality sauna for others, mostly friends and acquaintances. Anyhow, so fast forward to our second Sauna Talk podcast interview, meeting up with Daryl Lamppa. So there I was in my fishing boat. We have an island cabin on Lake Vermilion, and Daryl is also on the lake. And I was heading for my visit with my friend and wood-burning sauna devotee, Daryl Lamppa. And about midway across Big Bay, the irony of the moment hit me. Here in the Northland of Minnesota, it has been an unseasonably hot and dry summer. Forest fires in Canada and super warm, calm weather had created like a gloomy, hazy, hot atmosphere for my boat ride. The smell of smoke was kind of strong in the air. And then here I was heading to meet one of the world's premier experts on clean burning wood. As I tied up to Daryl's dock, I couldn't help but take notice of his custom dock frame. I mean, I knew I was at the right dock. I had been to Daryl's place many times, but not a lot by boat. But it was a unique dock right away. I knew I was at the right dock because nobody builds a dock like this, I thought. The welds were uniform and clean. The dock frame design was crisscross and laid out perfectly spaced. This was a handmade dock and shiny stainless steel. The dock could have been 5 years old or 55 years old. Nobody builds docks like this. Well, nobody except Daryl Lamppa. Daryl's Sauna in Homestead. So Daryl greets me from his back door, and we head over to his sauna. Part of the purpose for my visit this day was to help develop a plan for fixing up the Lamppa Homestead sauna. Much like the cobbler's kid's shoes syndrome, it was in full effect, as this sauna is a neglected relic from the 1930s, maybe earlier. Toys for the grandkids were stored in the cool-down room, totally unused. And Daryl tells me this was the sauna for the resort that used to be here as part of this land when we first bought it, he said. We walked through, we talked through our plan and how to remove the old hand-built beast of a stove that was in there and what to do about the original wall paneling and benches. We can take apart the benches and just flip over the boards, maybe sand them a bit. Classic Daryl Lamppa. We turn our attention to his house. I'm pretty sure it's the house he and his wife Cheryl moved into when they were married, and yeah, this was confirmed for me. Daryl and his father-in-law built the house by hand using lumber, milled from the trees taken from the property, as I mentioned, and these were big Norways. I mean, big white pines. So Daryl, he's all finished, all matter of fact, simple, short sentences that tell a story. He was a tree cutter. We took down these trees ourselves. We had lumber milled from these big trees. It was a lot of work. That's basically all I got out of that story. Next, I'm drawn to his wood pile. 2 wood piles, actually. One neat stack left and right, guarding his driveway. Each pile stacked perfectly. That's 5 cords each. We heat our house all winter with 5 cords, pointing to the left. I'll bring this down to the basement in the fall. And this over here, pointing to the right, well, I just stacked this pile a few weeks ago. These are for next winter. Birch is the best, he tells me, and of course I'm nodding in agreement. I want about 20% moisture. The heat is in the gases. Wood that's too dry doesn't produce as much heat. So we're off to the old factory. We hop in Daryl's pickup truck. Nice truck, I say. Daryl, it's from 2003 and it has 23,000 miles on it. I only drive it to the shop and back and maybe church. That's about it. I ask him if his truck has ever been to Minneapolis. No. The original Lamppa manufacturing building sits in a residential neighborhood just a couple blocks off Main Street in Tower, Minnesota, population 500. Daryl's father ran the family milk distribution company out of this building originally. Then it moved over full-time as a sauna stove building in 1974. The building sits virtually empty now, as the entire operation has moved across town. The items in the building today are very few. There's a clock on the wall, circa 1974, and an old radio, circa 1974, that Daryl turns on by plugging it in. 2 chairs are positioned about 6 feet away from Daryl's most recent Kuuma, and he has been working in secret and solitude on improving the burning efficiency and his method of the Kuuma stove. This one looks like any other Kuuma, but Daryl is deep into the testing of this one, into the mechanics internally. He takes only a couple sentences to warm up to me, knowing how much I love Sauna Talk and wood-burning technology particularly. And Daryl is comfortable here, in his old factory, where he has spent most of his life welding, cutting, and constructing thousands of Kuumas. I know most who own a Kuuma would get a chuckle on, how could you make a Kuuma any better? But that's Daryl, a lifelong dedication to his craft. I am overjoyed to call Daryl Lamppa my friend, and before I turn this interview over, I'd like to mention three things. First, Daryl's son Garrett has recently left his post as hospitality director at the area casino resort in town to come over as director of operations full-time at Lamppa Manufacturing as a fourth-generation sauna stove builder. You'll hear what Daryl thinks of his son's transition to the family business, and it's a very finished answer. For me, I am overjoyed that Lamppa Manufacturing is in great position to remain 100% family-owned and operated. A big credit for helping shore up Lamppa Manufacturing is operations manager Dale Horahan. Dale, as good fate would have it, moved to the area with his wife about 10 years ago with an idea of retirement. At that time, Garrett showed not much interest in the business, and Daryl was thinking of selling out, and the company just couldn't make money, and frankly, the hard manual business of making stove was taking its toll on Daryl's knees and spirit. So Dale had spent his entire career in manufacturing and building businesses. So Dale and Daryl met a few times with an idea towards Dale taking over Lamppa Manufacturing. Dale, though, had higher aspirations and, like me, felt a higher spirit toward Lamppa Manufacturing. Dale's list of contributions to helping Lamppa Manufacturing are way too long for me to list here, but he helped transition the company from the old building to a new building in town. He streamlined operations, hired more quality help, and countless other critical contributions without which Lamppa Manufacturing may not have made it to the solid enterprise that it is today. The second piece I'd like to share is that, in full disclosure, I am a reseller of the Kuuma stove. My title for the company is Director of Sales. It is not a full-time position, and nor do I want it to be. I don't want to tax the company with a salary or an expense. Like Dale, my devotion is to help grow Lamppa Manufacturing as a healthy, family-owned company, a good employer in the community, and the producer of the most kick-ass sauna stove in the world. In that spirit, the third thing I'd like to share to send off this introduction are a few comments from a recent Facebook post. The Facebook post was from an Austin sailor, and he writes, "Who has a Kuuma stove? How do you like it? Are there any stoves in the same price point that you wish you would have purchased instead?" So there's 63 likes and 53 comments. And let's see. So I'm going to read a couple. So a couple comments to this post. We have Jason Breda. They are the top maker in the market. Jeff M. Best. I have one. Excellent stove. There is no need for me to look at any other brand. This one works well. Russ Hinsa. Best stove you can buy. Chad Carlson. I have one. Excellent stove. There is no comparison. Mike Olson. I love ours and everyone we have in our family. Terry Mayamaki. Love our Kuuma stove. We got the medium-sized one with heat shields on 3 sides, glass window and ash pan. It heats up really well, burns super clean. Joe Cott. I would never even consider anything but a Kuuma stove anymore. Michael Furlong. We have one and I think it's top-notch. I'm completely satisfied. You can't go wrong. Eric Scott. Love mine, and they are local to me, so I wouldn't consider anything else. It goes on and on. Bruce McAlpin. Best stove that I was able to find, hands down. Love mine. Ben Hataja. Love mine too. Marianne Grams Wyckoff. Love our Kuuma. Easy to light, easy on wood, built like a tank. It's the second Kuuma we've built and second sauna we've built and second Kuuma. Beth Hundlick. This is the sauna stove I want, and they're made here at home. Keith Sheargold. There are several brands of stove that are recommended by people who know what they are talking about. I bought a Kuuma stove because they are highly recommended, but also because it's easy to get one. I live in the Northwest Territory in Canada, so everything is a pain in the butt to order. But with the Kuuma stove, I just rang the factory, made a deposit, and told them when I needed it. They built the stove and took it to the shipping company. They aren't even particularly expensive. The stove makes little smoke and is made of thick metal that will last hundreds of years. There are probably stoves that are just as good, but I doubt there are any that are better. And the guys who make them are good, friendly people. Yeah, so love mine, Matt Murphy. Leslie Sawatsky, love ours. Worth every penny. I can't start fires to save my life, and I can start a fire in a Kuuma. You guys get the idea? I put a link there to my original Sauna Talk podcast interview with Daryl, which you guys could listen to after this one maybe. Oh, anyway, Kuuma's the very best. Oh, I got to read this one, and then I'll knock it down. This is my good buddy Jeff Frizik writes in, and I've sat on Jeff's sauna for. I enjoy when I get out to Milwaukee area. He's got a great sauna, Jeff, and. Anyway, let me just read this one and then we'll turn it over. So, I could probably be a floor salesman for the Kuuma if they ever had a network of dealers with showrooms. Why is Kuuma the best stove, in my opinion? 1. Fire brick lined firebox. Very important. 2. Really thick, heavy plate steel construction. 1/2 inch top plate. 3/8 inch thick on sides. So no wavy gravy or holes through the side after extended use like some cheap Finnish branded Chinese junk, a.k. Harvia. 3. Sealed fire chamber. 4. Efficient baffle system with front to back burn that keeps heat in the stove while burning less wood. 5. Precise air vent carburetor to control rate of burn. 6. Can be ordered with glass door so you can bask in the glow of the fire while keeping an eye on the combustion situation. So one drawback is that they are a little tallish, so the lowly police may issue a ticket for violating the feet must be above the top of the stove Finnish law. However, the low bench will likely be so hot that you will never get cold feet. How about that? Stop looking, just get a Kuuma. I love ours, holds heat well. You get the idea. So without further ado, I just am so pleased to interview Daryl, spend time with him, not to toot a horn, but he is not an easy guy to spend time with and sit down with. He's very Finnish. He doesn't speak a lot, but he's very comfortable sitting in front of his masterpiece, the Kuuma. We watch it burn together, and we chat. I'm proud to bring you this episode of Sauna Talk. This show is brought to you by the Sauna Research Institute. The Sauna Research Institute is a newly formed 501c3 nonprofit. Its mission is to advance the research and study of hot and cold sauna therapy and practice in order to help people live healthier and happier lives. The Sauna Research Institute is initiating its first study, and it is open right now for participants. It's a survey-based study on the mental health benefits of sauna. So I encourage you to go to saunastudies.com and click on the news section, and you could take part in this research. So Daryl, we're sitting here in your old factory here. What year was this building built?
I don't know. This has got to be at least, which is 80 years old.
80 years old?
Or more than that even. Oh, yeah.
And it was an old milk.
Yeah, milk. We used to have a lot of milk in here even at one time.
Yeah, and we're in Tower, Minnesota, and the factory is now a new building. But you like coming here, don't you?
Well, not really, because it's pretty cold in here in the wintertime until you get a fire started. Right.
And that's what we're doing right now,
Yeah.
right?
I'm just going to show you, Glenn, the way this thing operates. And it's not, and the reason why this logs I put in there like this, you know, where you get something that'll start the fire, and then the logs, the smaller ones on the bottom, is because you got a front to back burn, and the logs in this stove are not paralyzing.
Right.
Because the back wall is uninsulated.
And how would
doesn't have a heat shield on the back.
How would you define paralysis? Paralysis?
The release of the gases off the wood in the absence of oxygen and a flame.
Right. Right.
But when wood heats up to a certain extent, it's like 500 or 600 degrees, when the wood gets that hot, it automatically comes out of the wood. So what you want to try to do is keep it from getting there unless you have enough makeup air in that firebox and enough flame present to burn it complete.
So is another way to say that is that you don't want the entire log burning
At once. If you're trying to burn wood front to the back, you don't want the whole log on fire.
because there's too much flame.
Fuel coming off.
Yeah.
And you're going to waste it then.
And it's too much stress on the stove.
Well, yeah,
you'll
you'll have a better chance of overheating the firebox and having an uncontrolled burn, especially if the draft is a lot with colder weather and a little bit of a breeze.
Right, right.
So what this is trying to do here is to minimize that paralysis. And the reason why it's got a heat shield on the back outside. Okay, so it's drying air in the back wall all the way up, keeping the back wall, which is unshielded. There's no heat shield with an airspace between the heat shield and the back wall that is conducive to paralyzing the wood.
That's right.
Paralysis is what you don't want to happen if you want to burn like this. And that's where most of these companies have a problem is, you know, they'll have the firebox all insulated. After about an hour, like my dad and I were experimenting in his garage, when we first started, we had it back insulated, the side and everything insulated. Holy cow, after an hour, we go in his house and look out the window because his bedroom window faced the smokestack. Just billowing smoke. For the first half hour or so, it was nice and clean.
Right.
And after about an hour, it just like a forge out there.
Yeah.
And
like you're burning.
My dad said, you know what's happening? The whole log is throwing up all those gases and fuel.
And there's not enough oxygen to burn off that smoke.
Right.
And what's worse is that because you're containing that burn, it's turning to smoke and making too much heat in the firebox.
Yeah, and it's gonna create a lot of extra pollution.
That's right.
That's what you don't want. Now this thing here, with the back is uninsulated, more or less, and the back wall is cooler because I got that heat shield on there. The heat shield inside, what it does is it draws air like a fan against it.
Oh, I love it.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's cooling the air up, keeping the back cooler, which helps keep the heat off the back of the logs.
Okay, let's fire it up.
No,
huh?
I only got that. This wood is in here on the bottom like this, these smaller strips. The reason for that is because the front to back burn, the way this works, is you want something that when it's to start easier and also that will keep it drawing the air. I'm going to put the other logs on top now.
Okay.
The regular ones.
Okay, that's good. So what Daryl's doing now is
16 inches long.
Yeah.
Like you like to use. I usually put, couple on that way, and usually I only put 3 pieces in it.
Now the way Daryl's loading the Kuuma is I need a better metaphor, but I say you load the logs in like dead soldiers. You want them in parallel.
Well,
Not crisscross or any of that.
No, you're straight in.
And some guys lay wood on top of that lip, and that's a big no-no too.
No, you can't because then the air, no.
Right.
You gotta have the airspace in front.
You lay them in there, and then you want the woods to settle on the hot coals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Daryl, as you're loading the Kuuma, did you ever mess around with fire with your grandfather, or was it mainly your dad?
No, I never had anything to do with when he was at my grandfather was working on one of the stoves over there because I was too young, and I know what I know about the way they designed it. It was more or less a barrel stove, which is only about 5% efficiency, and when I started, it was my dad and I were gung ho for getting it cleaner and more efficient.
So your dad didn't want to let on to your grandfather that he's redesigning a stove completely.
Well, no.
Because your grandfather was a barrel guy, and that's how everybody built back then.
Yeah. Everybody wanted one of the stoves because they were really put the heat out. But I mean, what was happening was, uncontrolled fire. And what happens is if you take a good look at that stove or that old one, everything cracks up and, overheat the barrel. Some of those barrels, I suppose, were all sucked in and everything else.
And were those barrels, was that 100% outside feed back in the day?
No, the
barrels?
one he's got there is right inside.
Oh, it is inside,
Yeah, inside.
yeah.
And did you notice that one was he with a welding rod put Steam King across the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we dated that stove. Was it
1935 or something, 32,
1932?
something like that. Yeah. So that's one of the first ones they made over there, I think.
Yeah.
That's what a guy in the lake told me. This Mike Sadel.
Yeah.
He said he just died, but he said this Billy McCumber out there in the lake. You know Billy?
I know. Yeah.
He said he bought this house that had your grandpa's original sauna. So I was there when he welded steam cring across the top.
How old were you?
Me, I was probably about 10 years ago.
You were 10 years old. How old were you when you remember your grandfather welding steam cans?
I didn't. Mike Salo did.
Oh, Mike remembers.
Mike called me up and said Billy McCumber had this sauna stove in his basement that I was at your grandfather's when he welded it because he lived in Embarrass. Mike Salo's from Embarrass.
Yeah.
He said, I was at your grandfather's when he welded. I was a little guy, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and I watched him weld that Steam King on it. He said, he's got that original stove sitting in his basement over there, and he wants to sell it.
Yeah.
He said, so call Billy and ask him if you want to buy it, if you want to buy it from him.
Yeah.
So I called him up. He said, if you give me $25, you can have it.
Aw.
So I said, well, I'm going to take it because you can archive,
It is.
something for history.
And we have that stove in the front door of the new shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a history to that because your grandfather made that stove.
Right.
And he made stoves for a lot of people around
Oh,
here.
hundreds of them over in the Embarrass area. My dad and him, he said, well, all those sauna stoves over there. He was known for sauna stove, you know.
But what was it? Was the milk company?
No, there was no. My mother's side is the milk company.
Oh, okay.
My grandfather Richard was a head welder for Erie Mining Company, and at the Duluth shipyards.
Did your grandfather emigrate from Finland?
Yeah,
About
I think
how
both
old?
of them did.
How old was it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea at all.
So your grandfather settled in Embarrass.
Yep.
He was
all those Lampas did over there.
Yeah.
You know, the brothers were Art, Richard, my grandpa, Axel. He owned the Bear store and all that other stuff over there. Axel, Art, Elmer, and Bill, and Wayne, and then there was one of his sisters was over, Esther Aho. I don't know what. I never met her husband because he died before I even met him. You know.
Sure.
So
all Finns, all off the boat.
And boy, they had a lot of kids.
Yes.
You know, a lot of baseball players and basketball players came
Well,
out.
Lampa's a big name up
I know
here.
it is, yeah.
And you probably know Lampas that you don't even know.
Probably. Yeah. Well, I remember Marvin Lamppa, the historian. That's my dad's first cousin.
Okay.
He's got books and everything about the history of the mining companies in Minnesota and all over the whole Iron Range and stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, he just died this last year. He was known for being on Minnesota Public Radio, TV. Mm-hmm. Now he's got all kinds of books out even, I guess.
So as a young man, your father, Herbert, he would see his father welding and head welder and stuff. Was Herbert into welding at all?
My dad?
Yeah.
He taught my dad how to weld. He taught my dad how to weld.
And now, did your dad make sauna stoves out of a hobby, or did he take over the work from your grandfather?
Kind of a hobby, I think.
And then when did you start getting into it?
Oh, in 1977, we sold our first Kuuma regular.
Okay.
But in 1975 is when we started just kind of making test models.
Right.
But he had been making sauna stoves ahead of that, before that.
Herbert had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I kind of was hanging around when he was monkeying around with it, but
Was your grandfather around when your father changed the design from
no,
barrel?
I changed the design of the sauna stove.
Did your grandfather know that?
I don't think so. No, I think I had already died by then, probably.
Yeah.
But when my dad started saying, you know, that maybe we should try selling more around here stuff, I realized that, hey, we got to get a U-Haul approval on this thing. And they're not going to approve it like this.
Right.
You got to have, so then I took and made it so there's brick lined, the double wall in the back, a baffle, but since then we've changed a lot, stainless, baffle,
Exactly.
and everything's better.
So there was a period there starting in the 1970s for decades that you and your father would tinker with making the Kuuma.
Well, the regular one we started making one with a fan on it. When was the Gulf War? 70?
Gulf War, was that 80? Maybe?
Somewhere
it was
around
a
there
Reagan time, wasn't it? I don't remember. No,
it was Bush.
Bush 1.
Bush 1, yeah.
Yeah.
When when the fuel prices went high, that's when we started kind of tinkering with so we can heat a house. Well, what we first did, we bought. I had this other time I talked to you about. We bought those volcano stoves. We thought, well, we could heat with those. My dad had one in his basement. I had one in mine, but my dad, after he used it for a while, he said, "Oh." So you look in that little peak hole there, and that whole thing was glowing red. And then I got up that one morning, and I had all that soot on my on my snow outside. The whole yard was just black in the back of the house. I said, "Cheryl, we had a chimney fire last night when we were asleep."
Wow.
So my dad and I both quit burning them after that, and we got them out of our basements. And I don't know if we sold them to other people or whatever. We got them out of there. And my dad said, "We got to make our own design, or we're not burning wood again. Too dangerous." So that's what we did.
So was that incident 45, 50 years ago?
77 when we made our first Kuuma.
Wow.
1970. I think it was 75 is when we had those volcano stoves in there.
Yeah. And so, were you and your father, were you equally interested in how wood burns?
My dad would sit. My dad is a mathematician and a guy that chemistry minded, physics, all that stuff. He would sit in his basement with that when we made the first Kuuma, and watch it and analyze it. He had the chair right there, and he'd watch it.
Much like we are right now.
Yeah, and then
right?
he told me, he said, after we made that first regular Kuuma, which was manual draft and baffled and everything else, and brick line, it was a pretty safe stove. But he says, there's a lot of smoke coming out of that chimney still, and I think we can make it so that there's no smoke. If possible, he said, that would eliminate all the problems of burning wood. You wouldn't have the creosote, you wouldn't have the chimney fire danger, all that other stuff would be improved. So that's when we started really focusing on getting it so there'd be no smoke.
Right. And the environmental aspect was really
we sold thousands of those regular Kuumas.
Yeah.
Just a regular with a manual draft on it. They burn front to back, but there was smoke. Smoke is wasted fuel and a chance of creosote.
Yes.
So whenever you have smoke, you got creosote.
Exactly. Let's light it up. You want to?
I'm going to start it. Ready?
I'm ready.
No.
Okay, middle lever all the way up.
Okay, now.
Ash pan closed.
Ash pan's closed.
Otherwise, you get arrested.
Wow.
I know. It's not good. And the thing I wanted to
you
bring
don't have to experiment yourself, but.
Yeah. So Daryl's lighting the front where he's got newspaper.
Yeah, I got to pull it up so I can get it started easier,
And Daryl used about five
I got
crinkles.
Four pieces and one that's kind of split up through smaller. I told you I got the small ones on one. See the way that's put in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Very meticulous, just like your firewood stacking, Daryl.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
I look, check on the light here what time it is.
All right. Yeah, we're going over to the clock.
I'm just looking at the second hand. I usually go twice around with like 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Watch now.
Okay. So it's 2:24 and 30 seconds.
Yeah, but I started on the 6 around with the second hand. It's got to go around once, twice, maybe 3 times. As long as that wood catches on fire.
Yeah.
Then I lower it down to an eighth or less.
Oh, really?
No, you're not wasting all that fuel. The chimney, efficiency is going to be, and then the smoke usually disappears.
Yep. So getting back to the smoke.
See how it starts in the front now?
I know, it's beautiful.
You watch all night.
It's a different
And the glass
flame.
stays clean?
Yeah, totally.
Stays clean.
Yeah. Have you cleaned the glass on this?
I put it before when I was monkeying around, had that wetter wood and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But since I got the dry wood, that wood is, that's that wood 1 year old. My burst from my basement.
Yep.
That I had left in my basement, 1 year old.
And do you think it's about a 20% moisture content?
I think it's down to right around 20,
Yeah. Do you like 20?
Well, they use it for the test. They allow only 18 to 28.
Okay.
It's got to be in that range or they can throw it out. If it's too dry or too wet, they can't use it. See how nice that starts, watch.
It does start nice. What we're looking at here is the Kuuma with flames coming straight up. Like it's from the front, and Daryl will tell you about the front to back burn. But yeah.
See now, when it comes down to the 6, that would be 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're sticking around. And usually at 2 minutes, I lower it down to about 1/8 inch, and that's it. That's how easy it is to operate.
Yeah. So it's interesting about smoke, right? Like you're talking about the two critical elements is efficiency of getting all the BTUs out of the wood. Okay, he's looking at the clock.
What I look at is if you can load the sauna stove and 2 minutes later just set the air and leave it.
Yeah.
And it gets nice, after 40 minutes, you'll see the steam that comes off that thing.
Okay. That's great.
See how nice it's burning already?
Yeah, it is. It's burning.
I'm gonna lower it down to about 1/8 of an inch.
So after it's 2 minutes, and what Daryl's doing is he's lowering the middle lever down,
I can feel it's only 1/8 inch open now.
and there's just a little crack there of oxygen
You can feel
feeding.
with your hand in there, underneath it, it's only 1/8 inch open.
Yeah, it's very tight.
Don't close all the way.
I know. I'm just.
You don't want to change that.
No,
Let me
I
see.
know. I got it. I'm
Just 1/8 of an
just
inch.
feeling. I'm feeling it. How far you are from
You
close.
can feel it, you can put your hand against the side.
Yeah.
Inside, way up against the
Yeah.
inside. It's about
Oh
1/8
yeah,
of an inch.
and I feel this air being drawn in. And what's remarkable is the air's coming in up the front. Okay, now we're going outside and looking at smoke. So just to revisit now Daryl, just to get very simplistic about smoke and the lack of smoke. Yeah, I look at it like it's a
It's
triple.
gone already.
It's gone already. It's a triple play. Number one, you're extracting all of the BTUs out of the wood. Number two,
You're not forcing up the chimney. When
Right.
you lower the air down, after you get it hot for a little while and lower the air down, no, you're gonna contain all that heat. It's gonna end up either in the rocks or in the sauna,
exactly.
and you're gonna get a clean burn.
Yeah, and you don't need as big of a wood pile if you sauna 3 times a
So
week,
nice and clean.
like I do. I know. I love it. It's totally clean. You can only see the heat vapors coming out, and it's been 2 minutes.
I told you.
I know. I've been trying to
See,
tell
and
you.
I don't have to walk around the island and worry about my building burning down or the forest fire catching on fire.
Right.
Safety minded.
Exactly. So Daryl, just let me summarize the importance of.
I'm gonna lift this up.
Okay.
I've whacked my head in there so many times.
The importance of a clean burning wood-fired stove.
Less wood, less chance of creosote, less chance of chimney fires, safety, and
Better for the environment.
Well, they use less wood too, efficiency.
Yeah. I looked at it as the triple play. Okay, just let me share it. The triple play, efficiency, less wood. That's number one.
Take a look at how nice that bird's now.
I know. I know, it's beautiful. Efficiency, number one, less wood. Number two, safety, no creosote. Number three, better for the environment.
Oh yeah, and then watch after 45 minutes now. We'll throw water in there.
Yeah.
You can tell me if we're getting any steam or not.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I can tell we will, because when I don't see smoke, I know, and when I see flame like this, I know heat is being generated in the
remember,
firebox.
we only got a flame in the front.
It's fascinating.
So nice it is.
Well, and what's nice is it's idiot-proof. It's almost like an electric
But
stove.
see, now, remember what I said now about how you load it though?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why those smaller strips are on the bottom is so that you got a long way to pull the air, almost 17 inches to the back.
Right.
I could put 16-inch wood in there, what I did. There's still an inch of space.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got to pull the air back 17 inches. So you want those smaller pieces on the bottom to keep drawing the air and keep those bigger logs on top burning, but you're going to get a lot of heat out of it.
Yes.
That's why you got to try it when you get it,
Well, what's interesting is we as sauna takers love a lot of heat, but you as a sauna stove maker want to contain the heat for safety.
I want a lot of heat, but I want a clean burn.
Yeah.
Clean burn, safe burn, and I don't want to be messing around with leaving a draft wide open. You know what I'm saying? Just to start it.
Yeah.
Well, you see how easy it starts.
Okay, so 1970, early 70s, you and your father Herbert are at his house or your house? You did a lot in his garage.
In his garage. We had a Kuuma burning here in the shop for the guys, a regular Kuuma with the manual draft.
Right.
We used to heat half the building with it.
Yeah.
But smoke and creosote.
Right. And you had this like mutual commitment to making a stove that burns better.
Clean. Well, the thing is that really got us fired up for it was because the fact that the EPA started testing stoves with a glass on it, a little radiant model, and they had to get the grams down to 7 grams. So we figured, we got to get it cleaner so that we could, if they start requiring furnaces to do the same thing, we got to be less than 7 grams.
Yeah.
Well, when we made we knew our regular Kuuma wasn't 7 grams because there was a lot of smoke. But then when we designed the first vapor fire, we said, well, we can do it because we're getting the smoke. My dad was sitting in his garage in his house, watching the chimney out there. We weren't getting any smoke. So we said that we need to find out exactly what we got here. So my dad actually took that first vapor fire down to Madison And we had to get a UL on it, which we did. And we also wanted to get one emissions test on it to see where we're at. And it came back 4 grams. And my dad said, oh, we got it. I said,
Under the threshold.
I said, yeah, but 4 grams. I said, what happens if they lower it even lower than 4 grams? And I said, well, maybe we can get it better than that. So then we started more testing. And then they came up with that, putting that rod in there and stuff,
Whose idea was that? It was your dad's?
Yeah, well, I bought an expensive testing kit, like $500 Baccarat testing kit, where you pump the smoke with a filter and everything else.
Okay.
And it would get, and it was hard to, you'd pump it and then 5 minutes later it could change or something. And it was so hard to keep track of what was happening. My dad said, this isn't going to work out. He said, I think I got something in the basement. We can check it quicker. And they came back with that rod, and that's what we did.
Isn't it interesting how sometimes the simplest solutions are the best?
Yeah, $2, he said.
And so what?
I'm still using it for this thing.
So what? Yeah, the same rod?
Well, I got 2 of them. I got one at home that's wore down, and this one's. You know how many times I've sanded that off? Hundreds of times.
I can imagine.
Just take the creosote off it or the soot off it.
Yeah.
And then I put it back in there.
And so when you say put it back in there, you put it through a hole in the chimney pipe?
I got a chimney hole, a hole in the pipe up there.
And you just push the rod
Put
through.
it in there, leave it in there, and leave it a minute or two, and then you pull it out. You can tell right away if it's burning clean.
Kind of like a hair thing, women have that little hair net.
Any creosote or smoke and stuff, it gets on there right away.
It wants to attach itself to that rod.
It adheres right on there, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can take it out. You can smell creosote when it's creosote. That's unburned fuel, So.
Amazing. Well, our cabin, 1996, we had to replace the boot about 5-6 years ago, and that gave me a chance to inspect the stovepipe, the chimney pipes through there. No creosote. Now, granted, I'm burning mostly all birch and hardwoods, some maple here and there.
So this is the kind of burn that I want. Mm-hmm. Something that's under control that I can leave it.
And we're just above the click.
Just above, just a little bit.
2 minutes after igniting.
In fact, I'll tell you what. If there was any kind of wind today and it was cooler, I could go down and see just a little crack on there.
Yeah. Because the wind's going to draw it.
Your draft increases. But the thing is, because of the way the thing is designed, where you don't have that paralysis, it kind of evens out the burn more. You don't get an over fire, and that's where the other one.
Yeah, other stoves suffer from that.
Well, our regular one does, regular sauna stove.
Yeah.
If you're not burning like you do.
Yeah.
And you blew after an hour or so, boy, that's getting pretty hot.
What do you think about this thing I was sharing on the phone with you, where what I found is I would always use the rake and I would pull the hot coals forward and toss a log on. But now I let the stove burn naturally and I let those coals sit in the back and regulate themselves. Is that okay?
Well, yeah, you can leave them in the back, with your style of burn, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're going to reload it with wood, then you got to bring them forward.
Totally.
Yeah, because you want the fire to start in front again and burn backwards.
Totally. Yeah. Hey, what do you think, Daryl, about have you been up to date on how sauna is becoming more popular in America? Are you up to date on this?
That's why I'm so interested in getting something like this out, because I think we can sell lots of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, this one here probably, you can try it with your style, but I don't think it'll work right. Mm-hmm. You know why? Mm-hmm. Because this air on this one, we got the bottom slit, it's only just a partial, not much. 1/16 of an inch. Mm-hmm. Okay, but there's no second slit. The second slit is straight up in front of the glass. The second slit, all the air from the second slit goes up.
Right.
Okay, so your top to bottom burn with this style stove might not work very good at all.
I'm looking forward to testing it.
I don't think it will.
Okay, well, whatever. This top down fire.
That works good with our regular sauna stove. It works great. That's what Garrett. Everybody that buys one of our sauna, our regular ones, should do it the way you do it.
Yeah.
It was never designed to burn wood clean.
Right.
It was designed to burn fairly efficient, but not smokeless.
Right.
It was designed to have a sauna stove that's tough. with
It
the
is.
bricks and a baffle and a
Yeah.
double wall in the
It's a
back.
tank.
It's a tough one. This is tough too,
Yeah.
but it's got a cleaner burn. So that was my ultimate dream, is to get this to burn cleaner yet.
And it's easier for the user as well.
Yeah. Well, no, like I say, you go in your sauna, get it fired up, and then lower the draft on, and just leave it kind of go. Then.
Forever. I was alluding to that before. So Daryl, is once you load the firebox and take a match to it, it's as easy as an electric, because you're basically just flipping the switch.
Yeah.
Think of that. Isn't that amazing?
Just get this sore muscle on the right side. That's off
Yeah.
firewood.
Well,
all that wood I carried last weekend. Holy man. My wheelbarrow is a deep one. It's twice as deep as that one is.
how
And
many?
I heaped that thing full.
I know.
It was up like this. But the whole thing was full, and I have it on top like that, crowning it.
It's like, how the electric stoves are like, 6,000 BTU, 9,000 BTU. What is the BTU of a small Kuuma?
Sauna stove?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Our furnaces, are only like 35, 40,000 on a high setting.
Wow. That's hot.
Well, you're heating the whole house.
Yeah.
3,000, 3,500 square feet.
I think this is probably a 20 kilowatt anyway, a Kuuma.
Oh yeah. Compared to, because a sauna stove is only at 6,000 watts.
The electric.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
And it's probably, when it's just at a control rate like this even, it's probably maybe 12,000, 15,000. That'd heat a good sauna.
That would.
Yeah, your
That's
sauna room ain't that big,
No, that's good. But sauna is becoming more popular. People are finding the Kuuma stove. They understand the authenticity
Health
and the work that you've put into this.
The health benefits, eh?
Oh yeah, a lot of health benefits about sauna. And a lot of people most people want, the convenience of electric, but those that live, in places with access to wood and stuff, I mean, up here, everybody's been into sauna for your whole life, right?
Turning the lower gun. When you need it that hot.
He's adjusting that. He jumped up out of his chair to adjust.
This thing here burns so under control. You don't need much air going in there. You don't want much air, because the more, always keep in mind, the more air you need to keep burning it, the more wasted fuel you have, because it pushes heat up the chimney.
Oh, I totally
You
get
taking
it.
a picture of that or not?
Yeah, I'll get a picture of that. Do you, but growing up, everybody up here is into sauna, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Like I told you, my dad turned me up to saunas, boy.
Yeah.
He says, quit crying in here. Oh.
Oh, you mean he'd get mad at you if you
Yeah,
left
the kids. Boy, you have 5 kids in the sauna with your wife, and then the kids are getting soap in their eyes and fussing and crying. Oh, you get mad at us sometimes. I mean, it was just at the end of the day, you can see. After a while, Glenn, you're going to see the gases that are going to be burning up on top up there.
Yeah.
It burns.
Well, I see it. I see the smoke turning to gas already.
You see it. See
Yeah.
how nice that. Look at how nice that burns.
But growing up, that was where you went to get clean.
Grandma Anna's every Saturday night.
Yeah.
Had a sauna every Saturday night.
Yeah.
My mom and her other sisters and their kids, we all went to Grandpa Henry's for sauna every Saturday night.
And then dinner after?
No, we never had. We had dinner at home first. We just went there for coffee and sauna time.
What time do you remember that being?
What time?
Yeah.
What year?
Sunday. No, Saturday. What time of day would you go?
Oh,
sauna?
we'd go right after supper, probably 5, 6 o'clock at night. We'd go out there,
Uh-huh.
and we'd come back in the dark.
Yeah.
Like 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next day was church,
Oh yeah.
and you'd be clean for church.
Yeah, we always went to sauna, and I can see that gas is coming off of there now.
Oh yeah, it's blue.
Nice.
Beautiful.
You can see it on this side more though. Look over here. Mm-hmm. We're in this lot. You can see it on this. See it over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. That's a nice kind of a soft burn.
Well, I hear it clicking away.
Yeah, but it's a soft burn though, Mm-hmm. That's it's heating. Well, we'll see after about 45 minutes.
Yeah. What do you think about Garrett coming on board full time?
Over here,
Yeah.
it's up to him. If he wants to do it, he do it. Otherwise, I think I've got a patent for the furnace, and I even gave Garrett a couple of these things that came in mail that people want to license it out. So I'm sure I could license it out and sit back and retire. You know.
Right. Aren't you retired now?
Well, more or less, but there's always a worry. Now, especially look at that products liability is going to cost us.
I know.
To keep it going even.
I know. That's a shame.
Huh?
You're just trying to make a buck here.
Well, I'm trying to get something out of it for after all the 40 years of work, over 40 years of work. I think I deserve something, but.
Oh, I think you do too. But do you? Your grandfather made sauna stoves. Your father Herbert made sauna stoves. You designed this whole thing.
I changed the design because I knew it wasn't going to pass UL.
Right.
You can't send a barrel stove down there for UL with 5% efficiency. And there was no brick lining. The door was not airtight, so you have an uncontrolled burn.
And now you have your son Garrett, who's 41.
And he's more into the marketing, you know. Like, why would you want to start changing something if it works, you know?
Yeah.
And if it's number one in the world, I wouldn't want to change it.
But how many companies do you know that have that kind of lineage to have his great grandfather as a sauna stove maker? And
Garrett's great-grandfather.
Garrett's great grandfather.
Yeah,
Think of that.
it's my grandfather that started it.
That's right.
Richard. Wow. Richard and my dad and me and Garrett. Now Garrett's got the little leaf coming up.
Yeah. But how do you feel about that?
Good, as long as, well, why not? I mean, my dad put all that industrial park over there, all the plumbing and sewer and water and everything else over there for 4 sites. And then he ran it all the way across for the new DNR building, thinking ahead. They were over here still. And they were talking about moving. I said, well, we'll set it up in case you ever want to go. And it was all set up for him. My dad was a forward-minded guy he ever thought he could think of.
Yeah.
His name is, you know what's going to happen at the Civic Center, don't you? They're making a pedestal now. I had a meeting last night. His picture will be in there, my mom's picture will be in there, our family picture will be in there, the whole write-up of everything he put in tower. 18 things he put in his tower. All
He was
recorded.
the mayor for how many years?
16 and 12 years county commissioner, 30 years of public service.
And maker of
And
sauna
2 years or 4 years of councilman first, and retired fireman, retired EMT, head baseball coach, assistant basketball coach. The last time Tower won the district tournament, he designed a Piaget program that's in almost every school in Minnesota. He went to all these schools and set up the math Piaget program. Yeah, and he was a head math teacher for 20 years in the school. Besides, he knew, and he built my house. He built my sister Faye's house.
Wow. The house we were at earlier today.
How can you find a guy with more ambition than that?
Exactly.
And then I made sure when she wrote that up, and I told her I want to make sure it's in there, that it couldn't have been done unless my mom took care of 5 kids and ran the milk business. Because my dad was gone to meetings you can't believe. He's all the way from Orr all the way to Grand Marais. That's how big his territory is for a county commissioner. And then a mayor job, that's a thankless job. Nothing but headaches and heartaches. People criticizing every move you make.
Yeah.
Huh? You got guys up there like, I don't want to say their names.
No, it's okay.
On the radio. But they're complaining about stuff,
Of course.
And like my dad said when he was a county commissioner, he said one thing that he realized is, if you do something on the east end of the range, you better do it on the other side too. You've got to have a balanced approach. Because you start leaning one way or the other, you're going to have nothing but phone calls and people complaining about this and complaining about that.
Yeah.
So you can see the bark is starting to burn on top now even.
You're right. That public service is, you said it right. It is public service.
It's a thankless job. You got to be dedicated.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to take criticism. Some criticism is justified, some isn't. You got to have some pretty thick skin. My dad said I spent many nights tossing and turning in bed that I wouldn't have had to.
Right.
He did it for the good of the community.
Yeah.
He even put that mini park down there, the tennis court to the school, all the housing at the cemetery, all the housing up on the north side up there, ran all the water and sewer, set that all up, put up all that sewer and water down on the East Two Rivers down there to set up where all those new houses are down. He put all that in there too. All the 16 new airplane hangars out of Huda Point. The new septic system that goes all the way to Sedan. Him and Timmy Thompson could get along, and Tower and Sedan were able to work together because they were going to close Tower down, the EPA or whatever. And then we used to have where the Huda Point is, on the way to Huda Point, where the old box factory used to be. That was where the dump ground was. He had to get all that cleaned up, and behind the cemetery, he saved the city $1 million by getting it cleaned up.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it's all going to be on that pedestal.
That's
all that
awesome.
stuff.
That's great.
Big glass thing there. When you go to the Civic Center in the garden there, it's like a monument sort. And his picture will be right there. He deserves it.
Yeah. Beautiful. And during all that, you and he would sit in his
Yeah,
garage.
and he was doing all the bookkeeping for the stove business even.
Yeah.
All the bookkeeping, all the taxes, everything. And Garrett started doing that 12 years ago because my dad couldn't do it anymore. That's when Garrett started about 12 years ago.
I remember. Yeah.
But my mother, in the meantime, she was running a milk creamery too, so she did a lot, boy. Otherwise, she couldn't have got any of this stuff done.
Jeez.
She really like Tom Rukavina, you know him. He died though. Okay. He had an article in the Timber Jay. He says the reason why Herb was so successful is because Edna and Herb had unbelievable teamwork. They worked together as a unit, getting things done, and that's the only way it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. My dad would be gone, and my mom would have to do this and that, and the three boys like myself and Randy and Stevie, we were always in trouble. I don't know my mom survived all that stuff.
Oh, isn't that amazing? The strength and fortitude. So you have two brothers?
Yeah, Randy
and two
and
sisters.
I got two sisters too, Gail and Faye.
Yeah. And do you think any of those guys? Well, do they know your commitment to building a sauna stove?
My brothers?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't know him. That's why.
Putting the rod in.
So clean that burn.
Look at that. Clean.
See, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah. How long? You just put it in there for a second or two,
I could leave it in there for a while.
but it doesn't change anything.
No, not really. Something I get a little carbon on there, but you're never
Yeah.
going to get all. And one thing I found about testing too, is I've asked the engineers down there, those guys that test. If you get a little carbon, I said, don't worry about it, because carbon has no weight for the filters.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's the creosote that sticks that causes the weight on your filters for when they're measuring the grams per hour. The carbon is so light, he said, it doesn't even melt anything.
So carbon isn't the problem.
No, unless it's really soot. Mm-hmm. You can see that's pretty doggone clean, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's shiny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I said, I might get a little carbon on it once in a while.
when
He
we
said,
were
don't worry about it, he said, because it doesn't add weight to the filters.
right when we were sitting here, and we're sitting about 6-7 feet away from the Kuuma, I started to feel the heat about 2-3 minutes ago.
Wait till 45 minutes is up.
And I'm looking into the firebox, and it is truly a front to back burn. I mean, those logs in the back are probably look just like when they
They're
put.
not paralyzing.
Yeah.
That's the way you want to do it. Mm-hmm. That's well. If people buy this stove, it's designed for a front to back burn. If they want to burn wood like you do it, it should have the heat shield on the back wall. So because that whole pile has to heat
That's right.
the way you do it, because it's got to burn. It's got to draw air from the top down. Otherwise, it would leave the wood in the back. If you uninsulate the back, and that wood back there would start to creosote up later on, it would kind of die out and cause a lot of smoke.
So back to Garrett now. So he's 41, 42, something like that, right?
He's got a good future ahead if he wants to do it. I mean, I think he's got the drive to do it.
Yeah. You know where I saw? Well, I've seen the drive in many ways.
Well, he likes it.
I know he likes it. And
And not only that, but when you're working here, you don't have as many employees to worry about. That Fortune B was in charge of over 200 people, I think he said.
yeah.
Total, that's a lot of people. And then, if they don't show up and you got problems.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's always problems. Like, you never know when you got problems. You got problems here, but I think you can handle it better.
Right.
If you could have a guy like Dale around all the time, it'd really be great.
Yeah. I know.
But he's not going to last. He won't stay there too many more years,
No. He's done remarkable things too to
He's
help.
a good guy, boy.
Really good
And
guy.
knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Knows his stuff, boy.
And grounded. He's a grounded guy.
He's a Christian too.
Yeah.
You can trust him. No, some Christians you can't, but you can. He's true to his values. That's what I like.
right.
He's good. He's a good guy to work with.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Because the company could be in a different place now if Dale wasn't here and Garrett wasn't interested.
Yeah, he's got us through the building stage. My dad set it up, and he needed somebody to carry it through. I mean, him and I had to do some of the meetings and stuff, but he's the guy that knows about setting up a manufacturing facility to make it more efficiency. And I mean, he's buying stuff left and right. You know,
Yeah.
there ain't much profit showing anywhere, but
Right.
maybe down the road it will. Hopefully it is, because I'm not. One thing I am is I'm a man of patience, and if I didn't have the patience I have, patience of Job they call it, right?
Yeah.
In the Bible, Job, where all that trouble and turmoil he had, well, he lasted through it, and hopefully I can last through this and someday get something out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
you don't want to spend a whole lifetime of work and never getting anything out of it.
Well, and getting something out of it, you know.
I got my name in U.S. Patent Office twice. Once with my dad for the original design, and then now when I updated everything with the way the tubes and stuff are, you know, those weren't in there before, some of it. So,
Well,
but that doesn't give you too much money.
I know. When you say getting something out of it, you know, the first qualifier you could say is money.
You get
know.
satisfaction on doing it, I guess.
That's where I was going. I mean, think about all those Kumas out there. I have three of them actually. Well, right now I probably got 8 of them because I'm selling them in Minneapolis and stuff. But I own and use 3 Kumas, and the joy that sauna brings to me, and the happiness, the de-stress, the calming, and all that. I mean, if you multiply that by all the people that have purchased your
We got lots of them out there, but we got to get a lot more. We got to get this sauna stove out there. If you like it and you start using it and say, hey, you know, this thing works pretty good, then we'll get it you all approved.
Yeah,
And I can even get this one emissions tested.
yeah.
The other one, your style, I don't know how it would work with the emissions. They won't put wood in there like that and put kindling on top and stuff. They don't do that.
But I think the difference is only the first 5-10 minutes, right?
That's all they'll leave you. That's all you can open up that draft.
That's right.
And that's it. 5 minutes is max.
Yeah.
They time it too. Well, how about if you can go 2-3 minutes like me? That works better yet.
Well, I'm impressed. I mean, I didn't expect after 2 minutes you would damper that down,
Oh yeah.
and then
That brings the efficiency way up.
Yeah,
No, you're not forcing all that heat out of there.
it's brilliant. You know, I'm going to take a picture of my wood pile out on the island because I've seen wood piles that are massive to heat, you know, to use for your sauna stoves and stuff. I use so little. You know, 4 or 5 sticks for two and a half hours.
I got 5 pieces of wood in there actually total.
Yeah.
There's one on the bottom that's split into 4 little pieces, into strips, you know.
Yep.
And then I got 2 and then 2. I got 4 pieces of wood in there. 5 pieces actually.
And we could take a sauna out of this.
Well, you're gonna see. And I think the thing is, Glenn, that you know, like these 5 pieces of wood, I think that even after 2 hours, you're gonna get steam, good steam. After 2 hours, it's just as one load.
Exactly. I know.
Because there's going to be BTUs left in that back end of that wood that's still going to be coming out of there at the end.
Exactly. And once everything is up to temp, meaning the rocks, the mass of the stove, it's just a matter of
You
maintaining.
know that top up there, where that rock is on top, that thing's only this deep on
I
top.
saw
So
that.
I heaped it up above so that, because those rocks really heat. You're going to see how fast they recover.
Yeah.
Once I start throwing water, 2 minutes later you can throw water in there again, you get steam again. Just a big burst.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll see. We got another 25 minutes, 30 minutes to go before you get 45 minutes.
So we
No,
go.
45 minutes would be, I had it at, it was 225, 224. Or 224. So what's 45 minutes going to be?
You know, however,
Well, let's see. We got 1.5 hour, another 10 minutes or so. No, but 15 minutes almost before it's 45 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. Because at 2:25 is when I started it actually. 2:25. Yeah. So when it's 10 after 2 on that clock up there, we'll throw some water on there.
yeah, I can't wait for that. And we're sitting.
If it was that, I wish you were in a small room.
I know. I was
Because the
gonna
way
say
that sucking steam just, it does. If it was in a small room and you're on that top bench, you'd feel it. Because I put my hand over where that steam, holy balls, that steam is hot. That's what you want, right?
That's right. That's exactly what we
Well,
want.
when you get it in your sauna in the cities, or over here, you'll be able to tell if it works. But you would hate to have it over here, and then you don't have the one down there.
Well, I'd bring it home with me at the end of the summer. But I
You
know.
went off the island? Holy. Yeah, that's not that easy to wrestle out of a boat, is it?
Well, I've moved so many Kumas. I strap it down with a 2-wheeler and then I'll.
Well, you can put it over here then and take it to the cities then.
That's what I want to do.
Well, do it. I don't care.
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing that I was. The thing is, now here's the difference between this bigger one here and this one here. Okay? You see this stove here?
Yep.
One we're burning, and another one. Well, I got the tubes in there, but on the original one, because the firebox is wider. Okay, I have bigger holes in those tubes.
Okay.
I got 13/64 holes. Well, because this is closer, the tubes up above, they're only 9/64 holes. Okay, there's 14 holes. There's like 20 holes
Okay.
on each one of those tubes, every inch apart. Or not? There's every inch is like, I think there's 16 or 17 holes on there, on each one. Okay, now and this one here now, it ended up so that it was every third hole had to be open for it to burn the way I wanted it to.
Okay.
And on this one here, that's what I was monkeying with the last couple of weeks here now, is to figure out how many holes have to be open. Well, the way I got this one set up is, it's got every other hole on the right side open, and every other hole on the other side open, but they alternate. So the one way in the back on this side is like this, and then the other one is like this. It's alternating. Those
Okay.
holes.
And
And I plug them with, I got little screws in there.
Oh, you're
So, because
testing.
I was experimenting, because I didn't know, when I never had a small stainless steel burning. It was this one, it was a medium. And I didn't know how it was going to act because they're closer together. This firebox is only like 12 inches wide. This one here is 16 wide. So it's a big difference.
So what's the theory with the alternating of the holes?
Well, the thing is, if they collide, like this one
Right.
here, or the air collides, if they're
Yes.
against each other, then you get a lot of this where it comes down and gets too much wood exposed to the air, and you start getting some smoke after a while.
Interesting. So the air conflicts with the burn?
That's a secondary air. It's not the primary, it's secondary air. With those alternate holes. It's all secondary air.
What do you think about, but what do you think about how popular sauna's getting though?
How they are?
Yeah.
Popular?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it is pandemic driven, isn't it?
True.
I mean, people are pretty concerned about their health and their respiration and stuff, but.
Yeah. And people have had more time, so they're kind of fixing up their homes. and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, a lot of them went to work on a basement sauna. Yeah, it's a helpful thing, I guess.
Yeah. When you grew up with it.
I grew up with it, yeah. I took a lot of saunas. My dad.
You know, I went to.
Garrett, he doesn't like the heat either. You know, he doesn't like hot. He doesn't like when it gets hot.
Yeah. I was. in-
You're a guy that likes a lot of heat.
I don't know what it is. That heat, it's medicine for
It's
me.
good for your muscle, I think.
Oh, good for a lot of things, you know. the
You don't
respiratory.
need any Shaquille O'Neal's icy hot.
No, I don't need that. But when we were talking about splitting and stacking firewood and stuff, and then your backs
Oh,
hurt
did you
and
ever get
stuff.
this muscle on this side here?
That's the one we were talking about. Yeah.
When I talked to that, I went to a lady by Warwick for a massage, you know, because one guy in town told me, why don't you go see her? Because he said, boy, she really works out your back muscles. I said, well, I got this sore side here, so I went to see her. She said, oh, I know what that is. She said, that's your shoveler's muscle.
A shoveler's muscle. That's
In the wintertime when you're
hilarious.
shoveling, you shovel and you twist, shovel, twist. And that's the same thing when you're picking up firewood. Or, splitting firewood by hand is not the best thing for your arms.
I think it's great. I think
You know why it's not good though?
ligaments?
Carpal tunnel.
Oh.
When you're hit into a log and it stops, that's the worst thing you do for these nerves in here, boy.
Oh, I see.
So I got a nice splitter. I'm gonna sell them when I got, because I don't use it anymore. I buy all my wood cut and split.
I know, I saw that. I think it's great to sauna after splitting firewood. It's great therapy. Or exercise.
It is if you don't do too much, but when when you're doing 5 cord for a house, and all of that, I was doing 6 cord for here and 5 for my dad. I was doing almost 20 cord of wood a year, like, on the side, besides welding all these stoves and stuff.
So no wonder you don't join a health club. Well, anyway, any final words to people interested in saunas or your stove that you've designed, your father, your grandfather, your
Have I
great
what?
grand? Any final words? Anything you want to share with people that are interested in sauna, that are into your stove? Anything come to mind that you want to share that we haven't talked about?
I don't know. You got to find one that's well made, operates easily, burns clean, efficient. And that's what we've been working for. And I think I've got it. I'm pretty sure I do. I don't know how I'm going to beat it.
Well, thanks. Thanks for the visit.